Hello everyone! I'm so excited to be here with you guys for our first ever mystery stamping. So since you guys know that I have my in-person classes every second Sunday and every third Thursday of the month, I wanted to do something live with you guys as if we were actually in a class together and I was teaching you guys a card. So mystery stamping is kind of the way to do that, where I can simply tell you what papers and all the dimensions and everything that you need, and then we simply just come in here and stamp together and make a card together. So, like I said, hello Pam. This is our first mystery stamping, so I hope it goes well. I kind of, I've kind of gone through all the things. Hello Kathleen. Hello Lois. And I think we are ready to go. I am going to wait just a few minutes. Hello Melanie. How are you? I am going to wait just a few minutes to make sure everybody gets in here so I don't get too ahead of myself. Hello, Peggy. And make sure you guys know everything that you need to do to get entered into the giveaway for this mystery stamping. Hello, Terry. How are you, my dear? I will see you on Friday. So for this mystery stamping, I am going to let it run through Sunday the 23rd. I will draw a winner at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And so you guys will have, if you don't have your papers cut and you don't, hello Patty, if you don't have everything ready right now, that's okay. You can always come back and watch the replay of this and get your papers cut and everything, and then post a picture. So when we're done with this live, I will take a picture of my finished card, and you guys are obviously going to know what it looks like because we're going to be putting them together live here. And under my card over on Pink Barn Stampers group, so you're going to need to make sure you go over there and join that group to be able to enter your card, so you can enter the giveaway. So over there, you'll see the picture of my card, and all you'll have to do is snap a picture with your phone or with your device, and if you have an iPad or a tablet or anything like that, you can snap a picture of it. And then in the comments under my card, under my finished card, you will post the picture of your finished card. Which, the thing that's really kind of cool about these mystery stamping is because we're all going to have the same layout, but they're all going to be different because we've all chosen different papers to use and different elements to use. So that's kind of fun. This is, these are called the Star Designer Elements. These retired in our last catalog. So I decided that one of you will get these beautiful, they're like a copper brass color, or you could say like rose gold, like my watch, these little stars. And they're kind of heavy. I mean, they're really neat, and they're already self-adhesive. So all you have to do is take your pick tool, how you always see me pick them off with your little gummy end here, and put those right on your projects. So just know, somebody on Sunday will win this pack of stars. And it has nothing to do with skill. This can be, the most beginner stamper. That's why I'm keeping these cards this card simple. So anybody can make this card. And then if you're a, avid stamper, you can always take this up one notch and add as much to the card as you want. There's no discretions here. Stampers like to be friendly and we all get along. So, all right. I think we're going to go ahead and just get into this. So I have posted the dimensions And let me get all my goodies out of my envelope here. And then grab... Okay, so my choice, which if you guys watched me on Monday, you saw all these pieces here because I showed you everything just because I was getting questions on the way it was written. It was a little bit confusing. So this is our card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we are going to score that at 5 1/2. So you're just going to take, which this is a half sheet of your 8 1/2 by 11. So when you have your piece of cardstock, instead of turning it this way and cutting it like this for a, I guess you would say regular kind of card, we are going to turn it this way and cut it directly in half, which is at the 4 1/4. And then you'll have 2 card bases, so you can actually make 2 cards out of 1 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to take this, since I know that it's 11, I know the middle is going to be 5 1/2. So I'm going to lay it on my 5 1/2. And I always go a smidgen, if that's a word, or a hair, or a skosh, or whatever you want to, however you want to say it. I always go just a little bit, not to the 16th, next 16th line, but just kind of in between that. And that's when I do my score. And the reason why I do that is because if I do it exactly on my 5 1/2, for some reason, my card never matches up perfectly. And there's always one side that's just a little bit longer than the other. And why that happens, I don't know, because I'm doing it right in half. But, you know, that's just kind of one of those little tips that I like to share with you guys. So then we're going to fold that in half and score, or not score, but varnish that down. So now we have a nice crease for our card base. Then our next piece is I had you pick a coordinating color that is going to match with your designer series paper that you chose, and I chose Pool Party. Now this is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then I also put on that same line to have a circle scallop, or scallop circle, and I used this the layering circles, since you have the scallops and the regular circles. I have all my bits and pieces in there, but this way these layer together quite nicely. This is an excellent set to have, especially since Stampin' Up! Did away with all of our circle punches. But I don't know, they must have had reason for doing that, but it is what it is. So here is my scallop circle. Now I put on there 2 1/4. So yours can be bigger, yours can be smaller, just as long as your little white circle that is going to come on there is going to fit inside of it. And you're going to have your little border, and whatever sentiment that you choose is going to fit inside of that circle. Then our next line called for our basic white. So this is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, along with a 2-inch circle. So that is going to leave us that little bit of border so we can see that. Now the way this is going to work is this is going to get layered on here. Then your white layer is going to go right on top of that. Now there's only going to be an 1/8 or a 1/8 of an inch or around your edges, so you're barely gonna see that color that you've chose underneath that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere those first. Okay, just like that. Okay, so those, I don't have those attached yet. I just have it laying there. Then the next line calls for your designer series paper. So I said to grab 4 rectangle pieces at 1 3/8 by 2. Now what I've decided to do is I've decided to grab 2 of this design and then 2 of this design. And the paper that I chose was the Friendly Hello Designer Series paper. Now this is part of our Sale-A-Brations. It is a freebie. When you spend $100, you get the paper set and the stamp. Woohoo, right? You get both things. So here is my, I sell these over on my blog. This is called the Designer Series Paper Sampler. I sell the PDFs, so it doesn't come with our paper, the Designer Series paper on it, but it is just the PDF that you will then print off onto your own white cardstock. And then you apply your papers to it. So this is what these sheets of paper look like. I love the colors. The colors are just so bright and vivid and so spring-like that it really kind of is a cheery color platform to just kind of brighten anybody's day. So I took, and now these are not the back sides of each other, but you can have your 4 pieces, and you can even use all 4 different pieces if you wanted to. Okay, your discretion on how your card is going to look. But I'm going to keep it where I do 2 and 2. But the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to stagger them. So I'm going to move that. I like that bird, so I'm going to move that there, and then I'm going to move this one up and this one here. Now, when you go to, I'm going to move this bottom here because I don't need that, and it's kind of in the way. I'm going to watch my margins when I put this on here. Now, again, your card, your choice. You can move these out to the side and leave a bigger gap in the middle. You do it how you like it. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. But I'm going to go kind of like that. Well, if I can even make my margins right. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece on there. It would be probably a good choice to have some grid paper below you. Hello, Susan. And you could then use your grid paper to make sure everything's straight, or if you have a ruler, I'm not that picky. I'll just take it the way it is. And then, yep, then I'm going to put this piece down. Because we want people to know that these are handmade cards, so there's going to be flaws. But you know what? Flaws are not a bad thing. These are made with love by our working hands. So my son, if you guys watched me on Monday, my son had his first day of work yesterday. He is loving it. He almost has 40 hours even in, so he started, yesterday was Tuesday, so by Saturday he has almost 40 hours for this week, which is crazy, but he is loving it. And since my kids are homeschooled, it's kind of a good thing for him to get out of the house. He was in public school. We did try it the beginning of this year, and he did great last year, but something happened over the summer, and I don't know what it is. But when he went back to public school this year, it just didn't work for him. He wound up deciding that, nope, he wanted to be back home, and he even has gone as far as kind of playing with the idea of maybe getting his GED, but I'm trying to kind of not steer him in that direction, because I would really like him to have his diploma. Not that I mean, they're both the same equivalency, but you know what I'm saying. So, along with the white, I also said you need to have a 4 by 5 1/4. Now this is going to be the inside of our card. And then on that DSP, I said to have a little strip of 1/2 by 4. And I'm sure you guys probably figured it out by now, just seeing what I have going on here. That is going to go on the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this in here. Now, word of advice, I would say to go ahead and stamp on this first before you adhere it in here. And I just kind of boo-booed my own like rules, because normally I always tell you guys to make sure that you stamp before you place it in there, but I thought about it after I was already adding the glue. So, I think what I was deciding to do in here is now these are going to layer right on the front here. And then I had a piece of scrap. Now, I didn't tell you guys to have a piece of scrap. I just told you guys to have extra pieces for elements. So whether you want to do a punched little something on the side, or if you have like, what is the other thing? Like if you have like a little heart, if you're doing yours for Valentine's Day, or if you want to cut out some of our paper, depending on what paper you're using, you could actually cut this little bird out and set that as your element. You could use ribbon. You could use, you could dress this up as much as you want. Now, what I'm going to do is I was thinking of, let me stamp this on here. Now, I think I'm going to stamp in black. Now, I didn't tell you guys a specific ink color, because normally when we do our sentiments, it's normally in black. But you can absolutely do it in the color that's going to coordinate with your paper. And I am going to use the You Have My Love and Support to fit inside of my little circle here. Because I could absolutely wind up, I could have used any of these colors on here, like the Evening Evergreen would have been pretty, but I'm just going with black. Okay, just like that. Now, another thing that's really kind of cool to do, I'm not going to do it on here because I'm going to add a different element, but you could take, like, for instance, Pool Party, since that's the color that I'm going with, and I could take one of my stamps and I could do that two-step stamp where I was to take, one of my elements here and put it on my block and then stamp off onto a piece of scratch paper and then stamp, that stamped image somewhere on here. So you're just going to, actually, I'll just do it just so I can show you guys. It's not that big of a deal that I just do it. But I just need to grab a piece of scratch paper. Okay, this will work. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab this little piece, this twig, just to show you how, you can go very simple. You can go, stepped up a little bit. And then I'm going to grab Pool Party, which is my coordinating color here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up that little sprig and I'm going to stamp it off once and then kind of just go like that. And it's very, very, very subtle. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's enough to just kind of add a little bit of something, something to that little white circle. So it's not so just stark white. And then you can even go as far as doing it again, but turning it this way this time and going like that. So you can see it a little bit better on that one that I just did. This one was really, really light. Okay, now that's going to get adhered right to this circle, to the scallop. So yeah, not having my son here during me doing these lives will help a lot, because he likes to suck my internet. Because he sits in there and he plays his video games and stuff. So this way, he's not affecting my Facebook Lives. They did decide to make him the closer and put him on a closing shift. So that's kind of fun. I mean, I do worry about him being, you know, only 16, his first job, and then working at night. But he's a big boy, and I have to realize this, that, you know, I can't coddle him forever. So the other thing that I think I'm going to do is I can't decide whether or not I want this flower or this bird. Now, for me, the flower is going to be a lot easier, because you guys all know how I feel about fussy cutting. This set does not have a die set that matches it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with those flowers, because it is going to be a lot easier for me to cut those out. And easy is good, if you ask me. If you like to fussy cut, then you can do those intricate pieces and have at it. But I am just not good at fussy cutting. Okay, so for my little piece of scrap that I needed, again, if you have dies with the set that you're using with on the elements that you chose, then you'll go ahead and stamp yours and die cut it out. Then I think I'm actually going to take some of that pool party and maybe, just to add a little bit of color to these flowers here, I think I'm going to actually take some of, ooh, you know what? I don't want my blender brush. I want my finger dauber, or ink dauber, or whatever they're called. And I am just going to grab my scrap again and kind of rub this around, because at first it always adds kind of a weird, like, little splotchiness. But then I'm going to just take this and just kind of lightly run it around the center, just to add a little bit of hue to those white flowers. And then I'm even going to go as far as adding a little bit of wink of Stella. See, this is where I said you can make this as extravagant. Not much fussy cutting for me. Oh, I get it, right? I know. I have my Cricut machine, but it doesn't get used as much as it should. Now that I've been doing all my stamping stuff, I don't really use it like I really should. Back in the day, I used to make, when the kids were much smaller, I used to make my kids' birthday favors. Like one year for my daughter, I did like a brown and pink theme, and I made a paper cake. Now, it was each person who came to the party got a little slice of the cake, but it opened up at the end. Like the cake all fit together as a round. They were like little wedges. And then each person got one of the little party favors, one of her little friends that came from her little preschool that she went to. And the back of it like kind of flipped open, and I had like little goodies and candies and, you know, just little party gift things. All right, so I'm just going to fussy cut this as quick as possible without sitting here boring the heck out of you guys. So when you fussy cut, one of the things that I have learned is you don't really ever want to move your scissors. You want to move the paper with your, whether you be right hand or left hand. With your dominant hand, you're going to hold your scissors, and then with your non-dominant hand, you're going to hold the paper. Now, you move the paper through the scissors and always hold the scissors stationary. I actually have one of the older Cricut machines. Well, I have two of them because when they come out with new ones, I always, you know, seem to want the newest one because, of course, it has so much newer technology to it. But I do have a couple of the older ones that still take the cartridges, which now it's gone to all digital SVGs. And I know there's another name for some of the, not JPEG, but different kind of files that they take. But yeah, it's one of those things where you can go crazy with the different designs. I actually was looking at the designs the other night, speaking of, you know, those machines, because I was looking to see if I could find something that had a barn, and then I could make it whatever color I wanted when I cut it out. Just so I could kind of design. I want to make shirts, so when I go to my live classes, I could have, you know, my own design on my shirt. So, I don't know. I'm playing with it. I haven't messed with my Cricut in quite a long time, so I think I need to. I even have the heat, what is it called, heat transfer or something, that you can make your shirts, because when my husband does his movie production stuff, he had me make some crew shirts that when they're out filming, people will know that they are on set. So it doesn't just look like some weirdos just standing around lurking. I just sold my business that had my... Oh, see? And when I was first starting out, I was actually looking at the silhouette. I was debating whether or not to go with the silhouette or go with the Cricut. But at the time, you know, back then, like I said, it was all about those cartridges. So I was seeing all these cool cartridges that I just had to have. And now I've got boxes of cartridges. And, you know, it's really kind of hard because, you know, back in the day what you paid for the cartridges, and they weren't cheap. Like, they were 40, 50 bucks a piece. And back then, I was even doing the Black Friday thing where Michaels was having these specials on those cartridges where me and my mom stood in line for a long time on one of the Black Friday nights. And it was actually it wasn't it was a Black Friday sale, but it started on Thursday. So on Thanksgiving, right when we were done with our meal, we headed into town and sat at the Michaels. And this is before the world was as crazy as it is now. So, see, and that's what I need to do. I need to sell those old ones because I don't ever use them. And I need to sell the cartridges. But the cartridges aren't really worth much now because everything has gone to digital. So, I mean, clearly they're just sitting here in a box and they're not making anything. So I have to just get over myself and say, somebody could be using those. Even if I don't make, you know, anything off of them, then so be it. At least they're being used and they're not just sitting in my closet. Yeah, exactly. You can't get much for them anymore. So there we go. There's my little rant. All right. So we're going to finish this card up. So what I'm going to do is, now you could take and you can put dimensionals. Oh, that would be really good to do it to the, and I was even thinking of doing the, nursing homes. You know how they always have like a little area that they get together and they do crafts, but I don't know if that's something that would be too much for them, but you never know. They always have their little helpers and their workers. So I don't know, but Girl Scouts would be a really good idea. because they always get together and make little projects and stuff. Okay, so what I was going to say is you could dimensionalize this and pop this piece up. I'm not going to. I'm going to just lay it flat. But with stamping, we always have, and card making, we always have options. I even have a couple of sets of those Copic pens that I need to get rid of also, because I now have my Stampin' Blends. Yep, get a hold of the centers and activity directors. There you go. Exactly. I just need to do it. I need to stop procrastinating, especially us getting ready to move. I don't want to have to move it. I just want it gone, because we're moving to a smaller house, so therefore I have less space. We are on the property. There is a bigger shed that I can store things, but I have to get that out of my head because my husband wants to have kind of a man cave. So, and then eventually we'll build my big barn where I will hold my live classes in. Hello, Laura. Oh, see, and Copics, you know, I was thinking of going that route, but they are kind of spendy. So that's why we went ahead and went with the, because I wasn't really good at blending anyways. But that's why we went with the, did I say Copic? I meant Spectrum. I didn't mean to say Copic, if that's what I said. I have the Spectrum pins. I did say Copic, and I didn't mean to. They're Spectrum, I can't remember even what the name of them are. But I have a whole, like, kind of my setup that I have for my Stampin' Up blends. I have it also in that setup too. And we have a couple of sets because me and my mom both have sets of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, this little circle here, my sentiment piece. Wow, these dimensionals really are stuck to this. So now this is going to go, now I'm going to kind of look and see where I'm going to put my flowers before I stick this down, because I want to make sure I have enough room. Okay, that's going to work good. So I'm going to kind of put mine in the, kind of right in the center, but I'm leaving it where it's kind of pushed to this side a little bit because I do want it hanging off the side. Now, depending on your size of circle and the size of your element that you're putting on there, you can put it wherever you want. If you want it up in the top corner, I'm keeping mine down here in this bottom corner. Now I'm going to put these up on dimensions as well, so they are the same height as my little circle here. And then I'm just going to place it kind of like that, making sure that it's not past my card. So if I want to mail this to anybody, it will make sure it fits inside of a envelope. Now, your card is pretty much complete. You can take it whatever step you want to. I am not going to judge anybody for the cards that you make. And when it comes to doing the giveaway, I am not judging anything or doing the giveaway on, you know, how, you know, far out you take your card. I'm not doing that. It is completely random. It's just everybody who submits their card over on Pink Barn Stampers group. Now that's here in Facebook. It's not the group that it's not my business page that you're watching this from, but over on Pink Barn Stampers, I am going to be posting a picture of this card. You will then take a picture of the card that you have made, because we're all going to have kind of the same layout, just in completely different colors. Then come Sunday at 6 o'clock, I'm going to randomly do it. I use a thing called Wheel of Names, and it looks like a big giant Wheel of Fortune. And everybody's name goes in there. I click it, and then whatever it stops on is who I am going to pick as the winner. And so the way you get entered is by just submitting the card. Your name will go on there, and that's how you will be entered into the giveaway for those super cute little brass, if you want to call them brass, or rose gold, whatever color you want to call them, because I think they're kind of a pinkish color. So this is what you will be entered in the drawing for. All right, and then if you are watching this from YouTube, you also have the same privilege as everybody else. You will just watch this and then go over to Facebook, join my my group, which is Pink Barn Stampers group, and I will let you come into it, and then you will submit your card and be entered into the drawing. So I hope you guys had fun with this. I will post this over on my blog just so I could put that out there that we've done our mystery stamping. It's going to be over on Pink Barn, or stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com. It probably won't be up until tomorrow because I have to upload this video and, paste all the things to it and do that. If you like any of the product that you see, even though this is Celebrations, if you plan on placing an order, make sure that you're placing it through me, which is dannygarola.stampinup.net. And please use my host code if your order is under $150. Now, that being said, if you know you're going to spend like $70, $75, you might as well just go ahead and up the ante, that extra, $10, $15, and add this order or add this set on there as your Celebrations item. Because like I said, it is a stamp set and a full pack of designer series paper, both in one combo, for spending $100. If you don't want this set and you still want to spend $100 because you know there's product that you want, you can absolutely get 2 of the $50 freebies through our Celebrations catalog. So yes, please use my host code. This helps me out very much, that I can come in here and I can, share these cards with you, and we can do giveaways like what we're doing today for doing this, because that's how I get my extra money to be able to earn, things like embellishments and things that I can have you guys participate in through, through the giveaways. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this card, and we will definitely be doing this once a month. If it takes off and you guys really enjoy it, we can maybe always up it to 2 times a month. Just depends on how well, this goes and everybody participates, and, the things. So I will announce the winner, like I said, on Sunday over on Stampin' the Pink Barn. I will probably share it also on Pink Barn Stampers group, because that's where you're submitting your cards. But I'll do it both ways so you make sure you guys see who the winner is. And then if you're somebody new to me and you're a new viewer, then I will need you to message me your address so I can make sure that I get you those embellishments in the mail. So, all right, you guys, have a great rest of your evening, and thank you so much for coming in here and joining for our first mystery stamping. All right, you guys, good night.